Now at 6, a Southeast Kansas man tells how his county put felonies on his record that weren't his. Plus, a conservation group speaks about their battle against graffiti being spread in a park. And Missouri Southern looks ahead to their matchup on the road against the Fort Hays State Tigers.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A former Joplin physician pleads guilty in a multi-million-dollar Medicare and Medicaid fraud scheme. This is KOAM News at 6. Toby Urican entered the plea in federal court. Urican practiced medicine in Missouri, among other places, contracted with a staffing company to work as a telemedicine provider. Urican admits he falsely certified that products and tests were medically necessary for more than 2,000 Medicare and Medicaid patients in Missouri whom he never met or examined. Urican received nearly $45,000 for signing those fraudulent claims. Those claims resulted in millions of dollars in Medicaid and Medicare billing for medical equipment companies and labs. A Chanute, Kansas man has a fresh start after his name was cleared of a felony conviction for crimes he didn't commit. 7 years ago, Shane Thompson found out that the conviction of another man was associated with his Social Security number. Since then, he's fought to have his name cleared. Today, it came to fruition as law enforcement provided the last documents needed to do so.
I have chronic health conditions now. I have a liver condition that I'm fighting, autoimmune disease, and so I'm trying to get disability, SSI. Well, I'm in a predicament with them even because having a felony on your record can actually prevent you from getting a Social Security disability.
Tonight at 10, we're going to hear from Thompson about the challenges he overcame to get his name cleared. A poll shows Missourians' views on abortion rights differ markedly depending on the respondent's sex. KOAM is partnering with other TV stations in Missouri. They're owned by Gray Television for a series of polls on a variety of races and topics. This poll asks Missourians whether they agree or disagree with the U.S. Supreme Court ruling overturning Roe v. Wade. 35% of all respondents agree with the High Court decision, 46% disagree, and 19% aren't sure. 41% of men agree with the recent Supreme Court decision, 39% disagree. But among women, only 29% agree with the decision, 53% disagree. The poll of 1,000 Missouri adults was conducted from September 19th through the 22nd. It has other demographic breakdowns by age, party affiliation, income, and more. And you can find more results at KOAMnewsnow.com. Tonight at 10, we're going to see how Missourians feel about student loan forgiveness. Doug Eddy, this was a hot final day of summer.
Yeah, it definitely was. All week long, we've been hot. We've been near record high, set a record high outside for us today. But the good news is we have a strong cold front that is plowing in over the past several hours. And right along that front, we've had some scattered showers and thunderstorms. In fact, let's zoom in. Stockton Lake over toward just south of Lamar. Here's I-49 toward just north of Lamar. And then you can see this line right here, Greenfield to Lamar, back to Pittsburgh. That's actually the front. More showers, few little thunderstorms over toward Girard. You can see that front continues all the way back, has just passed through Fredonia. So we're going to watch these sink south and east. Bigger batch to our north and to our west. That will start to affect us as we head into the daytime hours tomorrow. All right, still hot. Look at this. After 6 o'clock, we're mid-90s. But look at our northern counties cooling down rapidly. So big changes moving in. We're going to break it down for you here in just a bit.
Catch you then. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly announced a 5-year, $9 million grant to improve student behavioral health in Southeast Kansas. That grant aims to address the behavioral health needs of nearly 40,000 students. An official with the Community Health Center of Southeast Kansas says the grant will impact children without resources.
Housing is a big issue for us. A lot of them have had vouchers already. They just are unable to find proper rentals. And so that's something I work with. I am constantly on the hunt for HUD-approved housing. And then food is another one. I make sure that they are enrolled in SNAP if they aren't already, and then find the food pantry options that they have available to them.
Gagnon says Community Health Center will be able to add a school-based community health worker in Pittsburgh and Fort Scott school districts. In recognition of October as Mental Health Awareness Month, Uppercut Salon in Fort Scott, Kansas will hold a fundraiser. They say 100% of their proceeds will go to the Southeast Kansas Mental Health Center. The fundraiser starts on October 17th, ends on the 23rd, and will benefit children receiving services. Score One for Health is hosting elementary students from Columbia and West Central schools in Joplin. This program is held at Joplin's Kansas City University and allows second-year medical students to do head-to-toe physical assessments, oral screenings, and vision tests. Elementary students also participate in a STEM education activity.
A lot of times we teach students how to do an ear exam in a lab on each other or from a video, but today actually they get to experience doing that on a child. It's one thing to do it on a participating adult, but sometimes it's a lot more challenging or fun on a child.
KCU medical students will help examine all 11 Joplin elementary schools this semester. Coming up, Arvest Bank makes a donation to the Nevada-Vernon County community, and Joplin Habitat for Humanity partners with local organizations to give a veteran a brand new home. Arvest has donated $10,000 to the Nevada-Vernon County Community Foundation for their MRF project. This project is a multi-use recreational facility, MRF. The facility will be 2 complexes with pickleball, basketball, and tennis courts.
We don't have a ton of opportunities for kids to have fun outside, and so pickleball courts are perfect for young kids, for tweens and teens, and then also it's wonderful for our older citizens.
That project still needs another $900,000. A Southwest Missouri veteran was welcomed into a brand new home today. Joplin Area Habitat for Humanity partnered with Build with Strength and General Mills to build a new home for Marine veteran Tim P. and his family. The house is an insulated concrete form home designed to protect against severe weather.
Having a home, period, for your family gives me a lot of security. Then knowing how this house was built, the entire house is concrete. The roof has been fortified to the house. So if something actually were to happen weather-wise here, I'd probably miss some shingles. The house won't go anywhere.
General Mills donated $50,000 toward the construction of that house. Christ in Youth will get new studio space in Joplin. The new 18,000 square foot studio will give CIY the ability to create more video content for events and digital platforms. The organization has been looking to acquire more studio space for years. CIY expects to use that new studio immediately. A little bit later, a conservation group speaks about their battle against graffiti being spread in their park.
Plus, a strong cold front is working through as we speak. I'll give you those details coming up. Well, it definitely turned out to be another hot one for us today. Temperatures record setting once again, near 100 degrees, but we have big changes which are rotating in. Lander Chevrolet looks pretty good. Traffic moving great. I-44 east and westbound. We have pretty much clear skies, but clouds the northern half of the region, and our front is dropping in. In fact, you can see it very clearly on the radar. Look at this line right here, all the way across. That is our very strong cold front, strongest one we've seen in months, that is heading toward us. And along and behind the front, we're getting some scattered showers and thunderstorms. A few of these a little bit stronger, nothing to be concerned about by any means. From Stockton to Greenfield, here's Lamar, so south of Nevada along Interstate 49. You can see the front just passing through Pittsburgh right now. Little thunderstorm just north of Frontenac, just to the northeast of Girard, and then very spotty little guys once you get out across southeastern Kansas, one just south of Chanute, and that's about it. Most of these storms will continue to dip southeast, but also fall apart over the next several hours as the front works through. So if you live through the metro and south, chances for rain this evening not looking good. May get a random sprinkler too, but this bigger shield of rain, Nebraska, northern parts of Kansas, that's what's going to roll in for us. as we go through the daytime hours tomorrow. Look at the temperatures dropping. Still 95 Miami, 95 in Carthage, 80s in our northern counties where the front has rolled through. You can see the wind shift. We've had southerly winds, and then look at the front just kind of working in, and the wind's picking up. We're getting gusts 25 upwards to 30 in our northern counties. Those clouds looking north, that's the cold front sinking in. Still 96, feels like 97. Relative humidity at 32%. As we go through the evening, 90s, 80s, 70s, 60s. We'll drop back to 64 as we go through the overnight hours. Rain chances for everybody starts to increase mid-morning through the noon hour, and then we'll start to taper off late in the day. So let's go through time. These guys are gone over the next couple hours. Clouds will increase, fronts through here in about 3 hours. And then by morning, here's 4:30 in the morning, showers picking up Yates Center to Parsons to Fort Scott, sinking southeast, getting into the metro, 7, 8 a.m. These are going to be light to moderate showers. Continuing to shift through during the morning, here's 9:30 in the morning, and then still showers in southwestern Missouri by 1 o'clock, and I think by the afternoon, just mostly cloudy skies, but check out the temperature, 64 in the morning, 66 by noon, only 68 as we get into the afternoon hours. So over 30 degrees difference in temperatures. Rainfall amounts are going to be light, especially if you're in Oklahoma, maybe 1/10 of an inch. Everybody else, upwards of about 1/4 of an inch of rain. It's not a lot, but we'll take what we can get. First day of fall tomorrow, high of 70, which is crazy. Down to 58 tomorrow night. The heat returns back to 95 by Saturday. High school football weather Friday evening looks pretty good. Then we cool back down a little bit by the second half of the weekend.
Just the 30-degree drop in temperature. It's the fact that it perfectly coincides with the beginning of fall.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
It is. But then, of course, summer will bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Doc. Jacob here now with sports. The Missouri Southern Lions aim for their 3rd straight win this weekend.
The Lions prepare to hit the road to Fort Hays State, trying for their first 3-game winning streak since 2013. Plus, Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs get ready for a dome game on the road against the Colts. More on that when we come back. The Missouri Southern Lions have put together back-to-back wins to get to 2-1 in their first 3 weeks of the season. Last week, the Lions got the offense going a little bit, scoring a season-high 40 points in their 40-21 win over Central Oklahoma. On Saturday, the Lions are back on the road facing the Fort Hays State Tigers. Hays is 1-2 in their first 3. For Missouri Southern in this one, they got a chance to win their 3rd straight game, something they haven't done in 9 years. Their confidence is growing week by week, and really, it's been that way since August.
Honestly, I kind of sensed the confidence a little bit back in the end of the summer. You know, our guys put on some good muscle. Our guys were moving better than they had. And so they were starting to feel really, really good about themselves physically, which naturally leads to them being a little more confident as football players. And so I think what's happening now is it's starting to bleed to our team. So, yeah, it makes practice quite a bit of fun, and we're ready to go.
The Kansas City Chiefs are 2-0 to begin the season. Last Thursday, they won their home opener over the Chargers 27-24. The Chiefs are back on the road this week, facing the Indianapolis Colts. Sunday's game will be the home opener for Indianapolis. Chiefs quarterback Patrick Mahomes has been pretty dangerous in dome games. He's 6-0 in his career playing indoors, throwing for nearly 340 yards per game with 15 touchdowns and just 2 picks.
I think most quarterbacks are better in indoors, but I think it's just you just go out there and play the game. I never really notice it. I try to be better outdoors because that's where we play, and I want the playoffs to be in Arrowhead, and I feel like that's an advantage for us. So I haven't played a ton of games indoors, but we've obviously had success when we had. So it'll be another great challenge for us to go to Indy, which is the atmosphere will be rocking, and it'll be a great defense that we're going up against.
The Kansas City Royals have parted ways with longtime general manager and president of baseball operations Dayton Moore. And Moore has been with the organization since 2006. He was the man responsible for putting together the 2015 World Series championship team. That was Kansas City's first title since 1985 and second in franchise history. But this season hasn't really gone well, or any of the last few seasons, really. The Royals are about to finish with their 6th consecutive losing record. Show goes on, though. Tonight, Kansas City at home against Minnesota for Game 2 of their series with the Twins. That game will begin at 7:10. Daniel Lynch gets the start on the mound for the Royals. Now in the National League, St. Louis Cardinals hit the field for Game 2 of their series with the Padres. The Cards not great at the plate lately, scoring just 1 run in the last 3 games combined. This one will get started at 8:40. So now Missouri Southern has a chance to go win their 3rd straight game. Has potential to be their first 3-game winning streak since 2013. I said before the season, this is the most excited I've been about a Missouri Southern team so far. Getting better every week.
You and the team and the fans, everyone's excited. We'll be right back. Take time now to honor a local veteran. Clifford Ellis served in the U.S. Navy from 1974 to 1985. His hometown, Goodman, Missouri, and we are proud to salute Clifford Ellis, our 4-state hero. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to have more on the story of a local man who cleared his name after crimes were falsely added to his record. Plus, extreme weather conditions throughout the U.S. adds to already high food prices, and how the Federal Reserve's latest interest rate hike could impact you, your family. Those stories and a lot more. It's coming up tonight. KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Wildcat Glades Conservation Area in Joplin is trying to keep nature clean from graffiti. KOAM's Yana Hautala spoke to officials and a local sports team who helped paint over some of that graffiti.
Wildcat Glades Conservation Area in Joplin is often targeted for graffiti. Naturalist Maddie Jackson says graffiti causes 2 main problems. Firstly, spray paint has harmful particles to wildlife. Secondly, graffiti ruins the experience for people.
A lot of times people come here to kind of check out and they like to get away from the city. But it's a little bit difficult to get away from city life when you're faced with graffiti.
According to Sergeant Andy Blair, people do graffiti on places where they are not heavily seen, such as here at Wildcat Glades Trails. Consequences from graffiti can be vandalism or property destruction, depending on the value.
Financial value of what was destroyed, that could always grow into being a felony instead of a misdemeanor. So there would be quite a few consequences behind that could be pretty detrimental.
Jackson and Blair both want people who are walking on the trails to contact people if they see someone doing graffiti, as it is not easy or cheap to remove.
That stuff is really expensive. A little tube of eco-friendly cleaner, because we try not to use those really heavy chemical-based things that can, wash into the waterways. It's really expensive. It's $70 for a tiny little tube of it.
Luckily, Wildcat Glades Friends Group has volunteers help keeping the area clean. Missouri Southern women's basketball team wants to give back to the community that supports them.
I don't get the point of it. I guess it's a way for some kids to express themselves, but I definitely think they could do it somewhere else besides on property in places like this where people can come and enjoy our nature. I think there's definitely a place for it, and it's not places like this.
In Joplin, Yana Hautala, KOAM News.
If you've been waiting for some cooler weather to visit Wildcat Glades, well, tomorrow, first day of fall, might be your day.
Yeah, actually, we're going to sit into the mid-60s most of the day. We'll probably climb near 70 by evening as showers roll out, but on and off light showers throughout the day. So over 30 or about 30 degrees cooler than what we saw today. Back to 89 Friday, 95 on Saturday, kind of all over the place.
Final sports note.
Missouri Southern football has a wide receiver, kind of big breakout game the last 2 weeks. We're going to have more on that tonight at 10.
See you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.
Salon service